Welcome back to Raising Geniuses, and today we are talking about cybersecurity and the future of work with our guest Lewis. Karibu sana. Now let's go to the house or to the home. We have parents. We have even we give our passwords. We pay online. What are the threats that we can face?
The threats are immense.
Yeah.
So I think one is the simplest one is our passwords, right? And I know we love our children, we love our pets.
Yeah.
Just don't have your child or your pet as a password.
Okay.
Yes.
Most
or your
parents-
birth date.
Okay.
Or your birth date, your child's birth date, your
Yeah.
wife's or your husband's birth date.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Okay.
Because they're very easy to guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll sit with someone, then they'll ask you, so when were you born?
Yes.
Then you'll say, I was born in 1987.
Yes.
What's your favorite pet? Then they say, okay, my favorite dog is called Didi, for instance.
Yes.
And they'll be, okay, your favorite dog. And do you have a child? Yes, I have a child. How old are they? Okay, they are this old. The first one, and then someone will pick on information.
Yeah.
Then they'll build a profile and say, okay, they have a dog, they have a pet.
Yeah.
So they'll form the basis of those passwords.
Okay.
So someone will say, okay, and your name, okay, and is Anthony, okay. And you're born 1987, okay. So probably the password is Tony 1987. You see?
So they try.
So they keep on trying and trying, and then along the way, unfortunately, they may get the correct one, right? And then now they have access to your either bank account, your phone, or even sensitive information.
Okay.
Anyway.
So how do these guys sweep the money? Because we've heard of so many stories, even in the media, of somebody's account got hacked, and then they swept all the money without a trace. How does that process work?
Without saying too much.
Yes.
Without saying too much.
Yeah.
So there are different. So when fraud happens, so there are two avenues. They're what we term as channels.
Yes.
So channels are the exit avenues.
Okay.
So you have your mobile phone, your ATM card, even digital currency to an extent.
Yes.
So those are the avenues. So what happens is that they will hire mules.
Yes.
We call them mules.
Yes.
And the term is someone who is just used to transact.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when the money trail is being followed, it starts with the mules.
Okay.
So the mules are the first people to get arrested. And then now as they try to figure out who exactly is the person.
Okay.
So the mules they can be anyone really out there in the street.
Okay.
So what happens is that they ask them, okay, we want you to transact this for us, then we'll give you a certain percentage of that particular transaction. So the mule can be, like I said, it's anyone on the street.
Yeah.
They can accept.
Yeah.
And if they accept, then of course they also they may not be aware where the money is coming from or what is happening.
Yeah.
So then they just accept. So those are the exit strategies that they use.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've heard that some sites are secure, some are not. Some like apps are secure, some are. What does that mean when they say secure and not?
So what that means is that when we think, say for our website, for instance, right? So when you think security around the website, it's the first point is the communication, right?
Yes.
So from your device to the website.
Yes.
So we have websites that have we call it HTTPS, but it's a secure layer basically that is introduced.
Okay.
And there are websites that don't have.
Yes.
So how you tell about it is on your browser when you type www.xyz. Whatever, you have a green padlock that appears, right?
Okay.
So if that appears, then it says there's a secure layer that has been implemented.
Okay.
If that is not there, then you realize, okay, the communication may not be very secure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Now there is many instances that have come that your child is being this is your teacher, and an SMS comes. This is your teacher. Your child is not feeling well. Send this money here. Is that cyber crime? Is that cybersecurity issue?
Yes. So under cybersecurity, we term that as social engineering.
Okay.
So social engineering is whereby you ideally talk to someone to guide them through an activity that they would inherently not conduct.
Okay.
Right? Like what you're saying now, you'll receive a message, especially when schools are opening.
Yes, yes.
And then someone will tell you, if you don't pay school fees, we're going to chase away your child.
Yes.
And then if you're in your busy element, as you're working, then for a minute it will catch you unawares and you just think, why have I not paid?
Yeah.
And if someone is not very keen to check the element, so who is sending the message?
Yeah.
Is it a message from the school or from the organization?
Yeah.
Why do I have to, why is it so urgent? So, those are some of the elements that they come with a lot of urgency.
Yes.
That if you don't do this, this is the consequence and it's going to happen immediately. So it creates that fear of freight kind of situation for you.
Yes.
So you see it, and then if someone is not very aware or keen, or they have not done what it is that they are supposed to do, like you say for a parent, they may have delayed paying school fees. Then you receive that message and you have the money. It's a call to action that you will probably execute quite quickly.
With a link there. Pay now.
With a pay
this
now.
This is the new account number. You just pay now.
Pay now.
Okay. And the other one, tuma pesa kwa hii number. Even that is a cyber
same thing. Same thing. So it's under cyber, it's the social engineering. Right?
Yeah.
So someone tells you you've won XYZ from this particular application.
Yeah.
And then they tell you, okay, for you to now access the money, you have to talk this other person. And then for you to talk this other person, you need to top up this other amount so that you can get your full amount. But in if you think about it keenly, my advice to people is always ask why. Always question it, right? Or even they always verify, right? So the school has said, okay, I need to do this, or these people have said I've won X amount, but then you ask yourself, did I really put in any application for me to even win this money, right? Even for the school, you're like, okay, can I call the school and say, okay, why the threatening message, for instance, right?
Good. Emails. Tell us about emails and how this works. Okay.
It's the same thing. So in emails, what we have is and a case in point is how we register on different platforms, right? So you have your Facebook, you have your Instagram, and you have all these other random websites that you put your email and all those things. So what happens is that over time, some of them get compromised. So those guys steal those emails, right? So the value of your email in the dark web or the black market, I think, is around $2.
Whoa. There's a whole market for my email.
Yes. Wow. So now heading to where you are, is that email is valued as 2 cents, $2, right?
Yes.
I think that's close to 26 shillings thereabout in our currency. So that email is received by people who now conduct. Now the people that send you the malicious emails, right? What you term as spam, right? So once they get those emails, you'll get all manner of emails. Some saying they are the prince of I don't know country X or Z, and they want to give you money.
They have received this inheritance.
And
they were looking for somebody to share with.
And if you fall for that, someone should always question themselves. But why me? Like, why should I receive that? It's good money, but why am I receiving it, right? So the value of that email, they acquire it, and then now they start sending those emails to different people. Of course, they'll have thousands and thousands and millions of those emails. So they'll do email blasts, and then they send it to everyone. So whoever hooks onto the bait,
you're gone. Okay.
Good.
Now that we are trying to explain about the cyber threats and how cybersecurity comes in, let's bring it to the household. In this day and age of technology, kids as young as 3-year-old are given phones, and then even tablets, and they are told they can use them the way they want. What are the possible areas of the threat areas that you can get in the household? And then after that, you tell us about how to maybe overcome these threats.
I think one is for children especially. When given a device, it needs to be governed. So there are things like child protection. Because what happens is that your child will be exposed to different items on the internet. Be it social media, be it websites, there's really no limit to that exposure, right? And we've come to see lately when you have online child molesters who will ask for sensitive information or those kind of things. Even to an extent, some of these fraudsters as well, we'd realize, oh, this is a child, okay, they will start requesting for for sensitive information regarding the parent. Can you take a picture of your mother's or father's identity card? Do they have a thing they call ATM? And your child will just do it innocently. Like, okay, Daddy, can I take a photo? And since you're thinking, okay, there's nothing really out of it, and then they take a photo, send it, take a photo, send it. And then you somehow, for some reason, you realize what we term as identity theft has occurred. So someone has stolen your ID card, they've replicated it, and they've used it for a fraudulent incident, right? So those are some of the potential impacts. So for our children, I think the first thing is to always enforce parental control. Also limit usage. I'd say limiting usage is very important because on top of parent control, you want to have it governed. You have your technology for 2 to 3 hours, and then that's it. Because even psychologically, a child being near the screen for an extended period brings about things like screen fatigue and all those kind of things. So those are some of the things that we do. So we advise that parents govern in the sense of ensure there's parental control on the device. And by parental control means that there's a PIN, internet access is controlled, you have blocked access to all these other malicious websites, even adult content, you'll find ads popping up. So you want to ensure that you've blocked all those ads and all those things, because those are the biggest culprits actually. An example is even when you may not have, say, like YouTube Premium, for instance, right? In between their ads. So your child is watching Cocomelon or whatever else, and then
ad pops up.
An ad pops up, and then you're just thinking, this ad is a bit adult for this particular child. Right? Same thing on other websites as well. So you'll find that they're just scrolling through, maybe reading a magazine or whatever it is, and then an ad pops up, and then they're always flashy and enticing, and then they click on it, and then now it's just another rabbit hole altogether. So you want to block all those things by the time you hand over the device to the child, so that they are not exposed to that. And then, of course, limit their usage. You want to, depending on the age of the child, you want to have that usage limited. And then, of course, in overall, even your own home internet, you want to secure it. You want to ensure that as well they are not exposed to those particular ads. So there are things we call ad blockers. So you want to install those. On the home internet, as it gets installed, the technicians can block some of those malicious websites.
So you can request the technicians that they're doing
the when they're doing the installation and configuration, they can actually do all that blocking for you.
Wow, that's good. Now let's talk about social media. Many kids are getting to social media. As parents, maybe when a child asks you for the phone, nampatia anaingia TikTok and something. So what are the threats around social media?
Same case, like I mentioned earlier. Some of these child molesters will follow the child, entice the child, and then they start sending their details. On top of that, there's also the aspect of privacy. Because at this point, we're in the age of privacy, whereby as much as information is out there, you may find your child unwillingly, unknowingly exposes yourselves as a family. You find that they share locations. I'm sure you've had stories of celebrities. They shared the location, and then by the time they got there, the place is crowded. Or even theft happened. Those kind of things. So you want to limit what you put out there. You can put it out. It's all a matter of preference. But for a child, I'd say you want to limit what they put out there about themselves. and I know it touches on a lot of things.
Yes.
Because there's also the external influence.
Yes.
As a parent, you want to ensure that the external influence that your child receives is very positive influence, not negative, right? So that means that it goes back to the concept of limiting the use of that technology, so that they are not exposed to negative influences.
Exposure is harmful.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Now, is it right for a child to have a social media account? What is the best age you would suggest now in regards to protection? Because you said they have to be critical enough to know I'm not supposed to post something. I'm not supposed to give this information. Is it a matter of age? Is it a matter of parents training? What is your view?
My view, and I know I'm in technology, very deep in technology,
yes,
is that my own principle, this is my own opinion.
Yes, your personal opinion.
My personal opinion.
Yes.
My personal opinion is 18.
Oh.
Yes.
So a child should have a social media account at 18?
At 18.
Okay.
Yes.
Any reason for that?
The reason for that is nowadays we go on social media, and you see people posting, right? Oh, I went to this holiday. Oh, I have bought this car. So there's a 19-year-old who's buying that car. So my 19-year-old will ask myself, why am I not buying that car? And then they get into some levels of self-doubt, self-questioning, some to an extent of even depression. So at that point, you do not, if that happens way earlier on, then you find your child is having issues with self-esteem, unnecessary demands, because my friend has my because that is what they may not know the backstory of it. Probably your classmates' parents are multi-billionaires, and you are there,
son of a prince,
and they can afford a jet ski for their small lake house, and you on the other hand, you're thinking, okay, we don't even school fees, we don't have a lake house, right? And that sort of comparison is we say comparison is a thief of joy, right? So when that happens, then you see a child drops into now self-doubt, self-questioning, which is not what we want our children to get into. So my personal opinion is 18.
Okay. For those parents who have given access to their children already, and the children are already actively using social media, how should they try now going back and just try a lot of monitoring? Because I've seen there are so many stories that have been shared. Somebody comes, posts, does a post, even some take photos of your family, and then they create even another WhatsApp, and they say to me a pesa, all those things. So how should they now work around that?
It's about all governance, right? Like we said, you want to block out malicious websites, and then you want to talk to your child about what it is they are putting out there of themselves, right? I know they will post everything. I mean, they will
we went here, we've done this, my dad bought this.
Exactly. So you want to advise and talk to the child and ensure, okay, so whatever it is that you post, even before you post, actually, you go back to the people that you accept. So you want, if you're accepting friends, it's people you know. For starters, it's people you know, people you're aware of. That I know, okay, this is my friend, this is my classmate. Those are the people first you want to have within that child circle first. So that even when they post things, then you know that at that point this is only it's only exposed to the people the child knows. And ideally it's also the people that you would know to an extent, right, as a parent. Secondly is to just constant reminder that not to give out sensitive information. Even have settings on that particular account that make it more secure. So things like two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication is when you log in and then you receive an SMS prompt that you're supposed to put a code, those kind of things. So you want to implement those kind of things earlier on, so that by the time they're even using that platform, it's already been secured to the extent the platform allows.
So thank you for watching this episode. Leave your comments below with any questions that you may have. You can also go to our social media and DM us your questions. See you in the next episode with Lewis. We'll still be discussing on the future of work and cyber security. Thank you. Let's continue raising geniuses one episode at a time.